السلام عليكم، مساكم الله بالخير، يعطيكم العافية على تواجدكم اليوم في ندوة جدا مميزة، موضوع جدا مميز اللي هو الأمن السيبراني، السايبر سيكيورتي، وأهميته في القطاع المالي. طبعا راح أترك الضيف ستيفن جون روبنسون، عنده فوق 15 سنة في هالمجال وخبرة بالأمن السيبراني، كيفية حماية البيانات والمعلومات العامة، وأيضا خلفية في آخر القوانين اللي أصدرت ريسنتلي في أوروبا بخصوص حماية البيانات والمعلومات العامة. باختصار جدا أو نقول بطريقة مبسطة، اليوم قمنا نعيش مو بعالم واحد. في ناس حسبالها يمكن يلهي بعالم واحد او العالم الحسي المادي اللي احنا فيه، ولازم يراجعون نفسهم بالشيء هذا، لان هذا تغير. اليوم كل شيء ببالنا يطلع في التواصل الاجتماعي على تطبيق اسمه تويتر، وكل شيء يمكن ناكله ونحبه نحب نتذوقه يكون موجود على تطبيق اسمه انستغرام. واليوم حياتنا من طلعه، من روحه، من سفره قاعد نعرضها في السناب. فكذلك التحول الرقمي ما هد ولا خلى العالم المالي. اول كانت حياتنا الماليه في الخزنه البيت اللي يسمى تجوري يدي، اوكي، والبوك والكاش. اليوم صار ديجيتال، صار في تطور متسارع جدا، اللي ما يحاول يواكب الشيء هذا راح يكون بعيد، راح يكون في يعني نقول مو بس بعيد، راح يكون انه بالماضي مو بالحاضر. احنا كدول خليج الحين والدول العربيه نعتبر بالحاضر بالنسبه لتطور التكنولوجيا المالي، لكن في دول اوروبا ودول امريكا الشماليه وغيرها من الدول المتقدمه هم في المستقبل. فاحنا الحمد لله بالعكس قاعد نواكب وقاعد نحاول ان نوصل كثر ما نقدر اللي هم يوصلون حقه في تكنولوجيا المال، وكذلك في الامن السيبراني. لان بالنهايه اذا اليوم عندك دينار، حتى الدينار بيدك، ان صرفتيه صرفته خلاص راح. لكن اذا الدينار رقم كم ما نقدر نصرفه؟ نرد نسوي له استنساخ ونصرفه 1000 مرة. يوم من الايام اللي يبي ينزل شركه البورصه ايش كثر يبي له وقت؟ يبي له سنين، يبي له اسم، يبي له فلوس، يبي له علاقات، يبي له قوانين. اليوم ونشكر الجمعيه الاقتصاديه على انها تواكب التطور هذا وتوعي عامه الناس وكذلك المتخصصين. استضافوا مستشار يشرح ان الاي بي او اللي هو انيشال بابليك اوفرنج، انك تكتتب في البورصه اليوم تقدر تكتتب ديجيتالي بالانترنت. انت كشخص، مؤسسه او شركه، تقدر تدش الانترنت وتعلن عندك منتج معين او فكره معينه وتخلي الناس تكتب مو بس من الكويت، كل العالم. فلذلك حمايه البيانات والمعلومات العامه مهمه جدا. حمايه البيانات والمعلومات العامه خصوصا اذا جت في القطاع المالي مو بس مهمه جدا، ممكنها تضيع مستقبل ناس وتضيع مستقبل العوائل. واليوم بالعالم في فوق 2.5 بليون شخص ما عنده حساب، لكن في تطور ثوره عالم تكنولوجيا المال، وحسب اخر تقارير من الورلد بانك اخر 5 سنين 700 مليون شخص صاروا من انباكت الى باكت. فاحنا في تطور تكنولوجي مالي متسارع. الديجيتال كرنسيز والكريبتو كرنسيز، العملات الرقميه السنه هذه بتوصل تقريبا فوق 21 بليون حجم السوق. الجيل الالفيه والجيل الجديد اللي نسميهم نيرتشر نوت نيتشر. النيرتشر اللي هو الشيء في جين الانسان، النيتشر وهو الخبره اللي يكسبها الانسان. احنا اتوقع كلنا قاعدين هنا جيل النيتشر اللي اكتسبنا الانترنت واحنا نعيش، فهمنا تكنولوجيا المال واحنا نعيش. لكن الجيل الجديد انولد بالشيء هذا. شنو راح يصير ببالكم اذا الجيل هذا بدا يفتح حساب بالبنك او بيشتري شيء في الانترنت؟ ما راح يحكون تقليدي، ممكن يفتح حسابه في فيسبوك او غيره. So I will introduce now Mr. Stephen John Robinson to give us more, of course, a background about yourself and experience, and then the cybersecurity culture and its importance.
Okay. Good evening. I've got 18 years in digital, in the digital sector in the UK. We spent 6 years in the cybersecurity industry in the UK, heavily involved in research projects with 3 universities, all cyber centres of excellence in the UK, where we've proven testing methodologies, different research projects in regard to the internal threat into organisations, where the focus has been over the last probably decade is on external risk more than internal risk. So I'm just going to explain some of that today, obviously how big that threat is. And that is people within organisations. And we get hung up on technology and how we can hack into different systems and servers and web applications. But there's human intervention. So that's what I want to explain today, how we create a cybersecurity culture, because the world is evolving with technology so fast. It's how we protect ourselves, and this is what I'll explain today, is giving you some advice on how I think we could solve that going forward. But it isn't easy. So I'll carry on. So some statistics that we've got here for just one of the threats that is out there called ransomware. Ransomware, to explain in a bit more detail, is malware that involves locking down files, computer files, and encrypts them. And the real why this is ransom is it's a business in itself, worldwide business, very profitable business. But people ask for that ransom to be paid. They'll give you a script to unlock them files, and that's as simple as it works. The problem is, it's happening too often, and as obviously you can see by the statistics, in the UAE alone, it accounts for 2.4 million of the 1.7 billion ransomware attacks in the first quarter of this year. In the first quarter alone. That's how big the problem is. The other hand of that, if people think it's just technical, it's not. It is human intervention that probably allows that ransomware to be downloaded onto a device, maybe a mobile phone, maybe a server, maybe a PC. And that is what we're not dealing with, is training people, especially in organisations and companies where they're dealing with transactions on a daily basis. The processes are not there yet. We've created a world based on making our lives easier through functionality with no security in mind. And that's why we're in this problem now. So we have to change. So just to give you some idea how we split this down as a strategy. So every organisation, every company needs a mitigation strategy to protect themselves. So when we talk about cyber security, people think, well, how do we deal with this? There's so much of it. And there's so many threats out there, and I'm not going to go into great detail. Well, we segment it into 3 different areas quite simply how we can deal with this. And that's external threat mitigation, internal threat mitigation, and compliance. Compliance is really important. And in the UK, I'll show some different examples of compliance, embedding compliance into your organisation enhances people's protocol and process accordingly. Okay, so just on some facts, because our background is all about research and proof of concept. And we did some research 2016, 2017 in the UK, seems a while ago now, but it's very prominent in what we're talking about today. So this was on financial and legal companies. And the research findings alone was quite shocking. This was in the UK 2 years ago, 18 months ago. And 45% of these companies did not have information security policies signed by any employees. So they're leaving themselves wide open. In the UK and Europe, we have the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR. So this forces us now to report a breach if something happens to our organisation, if personal data goes missing or has been compromised. And the main thing is, there's fines that are waiting for them organisations now. If they don't report a breach, or they don't even report a breach within 72 hours. So this is law, this is what's trying to change companies' minds and organisations, so we can actually fix and start to react to the ever-evolving threats that are out there. So another shocking fact is this, we've been training employees for centuries on doing things, giving them awareness in all different kinds of ways. Maybe health and safety, maybe health, all different ways. But 73% of these organisations that are in the professional services sector did not train their employees in any kind of cyber awareness. So it's a disaster waiting to happen. That's how we see it. And this is what we need to address. And 100% of these organisations did not embed any generic rules into the policy. So let's take a step back for a minute. If we're trying to change people's way of working internally to be more risk aware to these threats, on induction to a new job, a new career, we get them to sign policies mainly on an induction to tell them what not to do, but the training is not aligned. The training is separate. So the employee becomes totally confused. Does that make sense? So what is important to change culture in security and be cyber aware, you've got to embed the generic rules into the policies that you're making people sign and train them on. And the reasons why they have to do that, the reasons they do have to work in certain ways. Quite simple, but 100% of them, 250 organisations, did not do that. So your National Cyber Security Strategy, the State of QA 2017-2020, objective number 1 is to promote a culture of cyber security that supports safe and proper usage for cyberspace. That's your statement to say, right, this is what we've got to address, and how do you go about that? So I want to give you 5 steps how to create an internal security culture. We're going to start with threat intelligence and communication to begin with, and now this is evolving. And we always make the same mistakes. What usually happens is we focus on technology, because obviously we see it as a digital threat, and that's where the focus has been. But it's not a walled garden approach, looking everything down, looking on your service. That is part of it, but it's evolved so much, especially in the financial sector. It's got to be a holistic approach, which is involving your staff to actually be aware, because there's different ways that people can be manipulated. It's verbally, it's physically, it's not through a digital. And obviously the hackers of this world will use all 3 of them forms to get information out of an organisation, a financial institution. Better communication and intelligence sharing. So internally to customers, especially in the banking world, we should be educating our consumers, our customers on a regular basis with current threats that are coming in. It's evolving at a fast rate. That's the only way they can be aware and react accordingly. So it's all about speed. It's all about awareness, finding out threat intelligence, and disseminating that throughout the organisation. It's not just about technology, like I said, but you've got to change the process. To change culture, you have to change where the people work. And that is through policy. Going back, it's reinforcing it's down to policy. But they've got to understand the reasons why, and that's what comes with education. The shift from the old cybersecurity analyst, the banks were the first to get, if it was the first cybersecurity job, we have master students that work for Xyone. We have Xyone Academy based at Lancaster University in the north of England. And the problem with them is the banks are just giving them a rounded career, a job for 2 or 3 years as a security analyst, which is just monitoring systems constantly. It's a mind-numbing exercise for 2 or 3 years with no intervention with people, which we don't understand why. So that has to change, and it is evolving now. So people and processes are getting involved with. So the new analyst has to understand payment processes, the transaction process, and they have to be able to deal with the consumer, because the consumer is part of that chain. And it's the duty of boards of directors, officers, to protect the employee data and the customer data as well. It's their duty. So, this is where things have to evolve in communication. Scenario-based testing, getting them threat intelligence and taking it to make people aware. It's not just about saying what is phishing, what is malware. You can Google all that information. To say, tell us